Welcome to another video here on Tide Drives, where we are going to take a quick test drive in this 2024 Audi Q3. Now, throughout this video, we're going to put this car through its paces, and I'll definitely give you guys some of the features that it has. But if you want a full first-person features review, head on over to my channel Tide Drives and you will find just that, going over all of the features this vehicle has to offer, all the buttons, switches, engine options, you name it. I go over all of that in the separate video. But let's get back to our test drive here. Now, throughout our test drive, we are going to first get it out onto a main road so we can get it going, hopefully 45-50 miles an hour, so I can kind of relay my thoughts on interior noise, tire noise, wind noise, things like that. And I'll also quiet down for parts of the videos too, so you can get an idea of what the sound levels are like. We'll also get an acceleration clip too, so we'll kind of get the car from 25 miles an hour up to 60, just so we could see how the transmission reacts to a sharp throttle input, and also how fast we could get up to speed. And for the final portion of the video, we'll have it on a nice back road, so we'll get a feel for it around the corners, lots of elevation change, and we'll both get some good Q3 driving impressions. We're starting off here in comfort mode, and we'll of course switch to dynamic when we have our acceleration test. First impressions on the Q3, we have a nice light steering setup, which is probably what you're looking for in a vehicle like this. So you can really just turn the steering wheel with your pinky there, and that is very nice. Of course, once you put it in dynamic, it does weighten up a little bit. Another thing I noticed right off the bat too is that the even in comfort mode, the throttle response is a little bit sharp, so be careful with you know, putting your foot down there. It might shock you a little bit. Other than that, now that we're up at 45 miles an hour, pretty good sound insulation. We do have some pretty big tires on this car. This car has the Black Optic Sport package, which means we have the 19-inch wheels, 255 section tires, so pretty large tires on this. But not too bad with the road noise as far as the tires go. And let's take a listen to the oncoming traffic. Not too bad, so pretty nicely insulated on this car. Not a whole lot of wind noise there either, so. It is also pretty comfortable suspension-wise at this speed too. We've got a pretty smooth road, and for most of this test drive, we'll be on a smooth road. Now, this is our turn here, where we're going to put it into dynamic mode. Let's get rid of that. And we'll do our acceleration test. We're going to keep it in automatic just to see how fast the transmission reacts. So this one, in case you were wondering, is the 45 engine with the extra horsepower, 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. So let's see what that does here. Let's get up to 25, and here we go. Yeah, definitely enough power for this car. You can definitely feel the torque, and the fact that it is definitely a more comfortable engine at lower RPM speeds. But yeah, definitely enough get up and go with this 45 model. Now, I haven't driven the model with a little bit less horsepower, the 40 model they call it, so I can't comment too much on that. But I am comfortable with saying that this is just enough horsepower for this car in this kind of luxury small SUV segment. So I'm not too sure how the lower horsepower Q3 would do. I'm kind of curious. Maybe we'll review that next year. Transmission is an 8-speed automatic, no dual clutch or anything. It's a traditional traditional torque converter transmission, you know, 8 speeds, of course. And it did a pretty nice job of reacting to the sharp throttle input too, and put us in the right gear, and away we went. The steering only weightens up ever so slightly with the dynamic mode, but I will say, as to the steering, it's a very nice ratio. It's just about 1 turn to lock, so we have a good, nice direct steering, you know, good ratio. So if I point the car in a certain direction, it's definitely going there. A little bit rougher roads on this road in particular, so you get a little bit of a feel for the suspension. It's definitely more on the sporty side of suspension feels. Definitely very, very solid too, I will say that. But you do definitely feel the bumps. It is comfortable over a smooth road, and more sporty over a rougher road. That's the best way I can put it here. Now, the one minor gripe I have about the way the Q3 drives is the engine is just a little bit noisy. It's not very Audi-like, if you will, I should say. It's just a little bit noisy. Throughout the years of this generation of Q3, you know, I've driven them all, and they've definitely refined it quite a bit. When this generation of Q3 first came out, it was a little rough around the edges, and now they've definitely done some refinements to it to make it a lot smoother of a driving experience, and it definitely feels more Audi-like. But at the end of the day, it's still a little bit noisy on the engine side. You know, once you're cruising around like this, you barely hear it, but in normal acceleration, the noise is definitely there. As to these seats, we've been driving this car for a little bit now, and we do have the optional sport seats with the Black Optic Sport package. And I would definitely recommend these seats over the other ones, just simply because you have the thigh extension that you can move back and forth, which for me is a pretty big deal. I definitely like the adjustability there. We also have all of our normal power adjustments in addition to four-way lumbar on this car too. So pretty comfortable seats overall. Coming up on our road work here, we had a little bit of an abrupt braking, but brakes feel nice too. Pretty firm feeling on the brake pedal, so that's good. But that pretty much does it for our first-person POV driving review of the 2024 Audi Q3. Be sure to check out our full features review as well on our channel. But I thank each and every one of you for watching. I hope you stick with us here at Ty Drives for future videos.